Hi, I'm Lance Howard, and I'm up here in Minneapolis, Minnesota today, meeting with Gradient Investments, our Chief Investment Officer, Wayne Schmidt. It's very important for me to explain to you the relationships that we have because I can't do everything for you, but I bring a team of people to the table, and Wayne is one of my team members. And so I'd like for you to understand a little bit more about what Wayne does on a daily basis, so you can see how different it is from what I do on a daily basis and why we make such a great team. What I do is, if I'm meeting at a table with somebody for an hour or 2 hours and I've got 3 or 4, maybe 5 other appointments that day, how in the world could I possibly be watching the market for you and watching your accounts? So I don't try to convince my clients that that's what I'm doing. I know that it's not possible, and just by watching what you do on a daily basis and hearing some of the things that you do it's amazing, because some people are out there trying to tell their clients that they're doing all of this, and there's just not enough hours in the day. And that's why I split the work between me and you.
Yeah, and that's right. And managing money is a full-time job, and servicing clients and gathering assets and doing the things that you do is a full-time job. And between the two of us, we can do the job, together as a team, and I think that's what's important. So I've had the great fortune of 24 years working for Minnesota Life's investment department, where I was managing institutional money. I spent 5 years after that with AXA Investment Managers, managing large institutional portfolios. We had $15 billion of assets under management with AXA. Most of that was fixed income money. And then some other formal training is I have a CFA designation, which stands for Chartered Financial Analyst. And it's a pretty involved process to get through there. It's 3 years, it's 3 6-hour exams with a lot of studying put into that. But that educational training plus the on-the-job training helps you deal with investments, and that's what I've done for my whole life on a 24/7 basis. So I'm trained to do that and do the best I can at bringing that expertise to the individual client.
I wanted people to understand what we bring to the table, and that the people that we partner with absolutely do have the kind of training that the client's looking for, to know that somebody with that kind of expertise and that high level of training is watching after their assets. Wayne, obviously I'm very busy in my day and you're very busy in your day, and people see what I do when they come into my office and I sit down at a table and I meet with them, but they don't see what you do. Yours is a little more behind the scenes. So why don't you tell us a little about what you do in a given day or a given week that keeps you so busy?
And every day is different because the market's different every day, so that makes it exciting. But, the day usually starts at 7 o'clock here in the office. It's, catching up on news stories from the night before, doing some research. We have CNBC and Bloomberg on the TV, so we're getting information of what's going on in the market today, just to get a sense of where things are. My major roles are managing the portfolios of our clients, so that is my full-time job. We get new clients in every day, and we're thankful for that. We put their money to work. We find out what new money we have to invest. We make sure that gets invested. We have a job to do for all of our existing clients. So what we're doing is looking at those portfolios, rebalancing those portfolios, and doing the things that we need to do for the existing clients. We get requests in for RMDs and other cash flows. So there's a lot of trading activity, portfolio management activity that goes on during the day.
Yeah, and the rebalancing, you have a number of portfolios that are rebalanced on a 90-day basis, a 30-day basis. Isn't that right?
No, exactly right. And our covered call portfolio is one of our more popular portfolios that's, from a management standpoint, fairly active because we're selling calls on a monthly basis. So every third Friday of the month, those calls expire. We need to put those positions back on. If we get called out of any securities, we need to reinvest those proceeds back into the market. So certain portfolios are busier than others in terms of rebalancing. Our Gradient 50 is a portfolio where we rebalance quarterly. Just yesterday and the day before, we went through the process of rebalancing that portfolio. We sold 11 names, we purchased 11 names, so that's an ongoing process also.
Very good. I find that's amazing, because most of the people that come into my office are really complaining about the fact that they don't get enough attention, that they're not being contacted by their advisor, and they're not really sure how much the advisor is really watching their account. When we tell people that we are looking at their account, we are, because you're rebalancing that gradient 50 every 90 days and the covered call every 30 days. So we're absolutely looking at those accounts.
Exactly. We're doing the rescreening in the case of the gradient 50 on a quarterly basis, but looking at prices on a really regular basis, on a daily basis in those accounts.
So when I think that's amazing, because it really gives client confidence that we really are rebalancing and looking at their accounts on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, and that's an important part of the process, and that's what we do full time. And I have a person I work with, a trader, that's helping me in that process. So it's more than just me doing this. We have a team.
Oh, you don't do it all yourself?
I don't do it all myself, but
how many people do you have that you're working with that help you?
We have 8 people in gradient investments. Some of the people involved in paper processing and doing the apps. Other people are involved in working closely with advisors and on new accounts and helping them gather assets. So we have a team of people involved in the investment process. And one of the things I want to point out too is we spend a lot of time on the phone. I do personally, as does Adam and Nate, is talking to advisors, talking to existing clients, talking to prospects. So, you know, that you have clients have access to us, and I just want to make sure that that's clear. It's not just, you know, this black hole of gradient investments. We're there, and we want to be on the phone, and we want to answer questions, and we want to make sure people are educated and comfortable with their investment program.
I've been fortunate to have a couple of my clients on the phone with you, and I can tell you that every time that happens, the confidence level just soars because of the level of information that you can give them and the confidence that it brings to the table when they're speaking to somebody who's dealing with the stock market that often.
Yeah, and we want a long-term relationship, and I know we've had some of those calls with clients, prospects, and existing clients, and I think, especially with the covered call portfolio, it's unique, it's a little bit more involved, and some investors more astute than others, but they all have questions, and if we can answer those questions on the front end, everybody's more comfortable, they know what's in their portfolio, they know what the expectations are, and it really makes for a long-term relationship, that's what we want. I know that's what you want. I think that's what the client should want, is that we can be in this for the long haul, because that's where success comes from.